Hey, Mr. DOT man, why you pull me over? Pull me over, and he checked my asshole. Pick apart the outside, pick apart the inside. Pull me over, and he checked my asshole. I say late, I say late, I say let me go. Pull me over, and he checked my asshole. Open up my seal and look in my trailer. Pull me over, and he checked my asshole. I say late, I say late, I say let me go. Pull me over, and he checked my asshole. Anyway, I'll make a video on that later. But the Dragon here, what's up YouTube? For this Figure It Out Friday, I'm going to talk about winter driving tips. I'm going to break this down into like driving, tools and supplies, and maybe some things you can do, you know, with your truck. So as far as driving goes, you just want to drive with common sense. You know, drive like you would drive your car. The only difference is in a big truck, you have to drive more cautiously, extra cautious, because you are hauling around more weight, and that can it makes things more dangerous when you're driving. Because when you have more weight, you know, it's physics. It takes a longer time to stop when there's less traction. Inertia. Look, science. Anyway, if you think you're driving too fast, you probably are, and you need to slow down. If you're making yourself nervous or whatever, just slow down. You know, it only takes one time going too fast, and you can go as slow as many times as you want. So always take the safer option and go slower. If you think you're too fast, slow that ass. That's a little saying I came up with, and it's a good rule to follow. Think you're too fast, slow that ass. Also, another thing is, you always want to do one input at a time, and you want to do it smoothly. And what I mean by input is you either want to steer, accelerate, or brake. One of the three. And if you do it very smoothly. No jerky movements, no stomping on the gas or slamming on the brakes. Very smooth with everything. Because if you're jerky with anything, you could lose traction and slide all over the place, and that's no good. Yeah, don't ever touch your trolley brake or your trolley valve or trailer brake. You should never be touching that anyway unless you're sliding your tandems. Like, never touch that. That'll jackknife your trailer in a heartbeat. But yeah, nice smooth inputs, blah blah blah. Momentum. Momentum is a very important part in driving a truck, like in any condition, and not just, you know, winter, but it plays a more important role in winter because there's less traction, and especially if you're in the mountains or like hilly areas. So you want to pick a nice safe speed and carry that speed all the way up or down the hill you're on. So if you're going down a hill, you want to maintain a nice safe speed. You know, I don't know, let's just say 25 miles per hour or so. And that way, as you go up the hill, you want to try to maintain that speed, and don't let off the gas, because if you let off the gas, then you lose your momentum, you're done, you're going to be stuck up there. So you want to try to keep your momentum to go up that hill. If you feel your drive wheel starting to slip, well, let off the gas just a bit until you feel you get traction again. And, you know, it's a nice balancing act to try to keep your momentum going. But that, as far as driving, yeah, it's just mainly common sense. Be careful, pick a nice safe speed. I mean, if you have to drive too slow, just shut down. Don't even go out there. So, as far as the truck, if it's below freezing, you know, keep the truck running. Because if you cut it off, once you wake up, it might not start again, because the battery could freeze, or, you know, the oil gets too thick. You know, any number of reasons. If it's below freezing and you cut your truck off, it might not start back up again. Unless you're like in Antarctica and you got like those engine warmer and battery warmer things on the truck. But most of us out here don't have any of that. So if you're in below freezing weather, below zero, leave the truck running. Also, probably want to wash it like every now and then to get all the salt off, because if you leave salt on metal too long, you know, it rusts and all that. So you don't want to leave salt on your truck that much. So try to wash it, I guess, at least once every couple weeks, once a month. I don't know. I like my truck clean, so maybe once a month is good. Once every couple weeks if you want to pay out of pocket. But as far as like tools and supplies, let me see, I got a list here. No list of, not in order of importance, it's just stuff you might want to need. Want to have, sorry, it's been a long day. But anti-gel, this is an additive you can put in your diesel tanks. It keeps the diesel from turning into this gelatin-like goop stuff. That's good to have, but you only really need it if you're going to be in below freezing weather, or like, say 15 degrees or below. Maybe 32, but you know, generally speaking, you need anti-gel if you're going to be in temperatures 15 degrees or below. De-icing washer fluid. The washer fluid that doesn't freeze and it gets the ice off your windshield. That's good to have, because if you have regular washer fluid, you know, that tends to freeze up and block up your washer jets. A shovel is just good to have. You know, you might have to dig some snow out or what have you, bury some bodies with it. I don't know, but I don't know. I have a shovel. It's one of those small fold-up army shovels from the surplus store. Chains. If you're a professional driver, you probably have chains hanging off your truck. And if you have to put them on, don't drive. At least that's the rule I follow anyway. If I gotta put my chains on, I am not driving. I pulled those things off one time just to get the feel for taking them off and folding them up and putting them on, and hopefully that's the only time I do that. If you gotta put them on, don't drive. Period. Just shut down. Or if you have to put them on and go to the next truck stop or safe haven. And that's my spiel on that. You know, have an ice scraper. I have one of those 18-inch ones, you know, really long, so I can reach across the windshield if I gotta brush shit off or scrape some ice off. Cat litter, salt, or those like bags of little gravel. That's good to have if you get stuck in a parking lot or something, and you can like just dump a little pile under your drive wheels, and that'll help you get unstuck. Let's see, a hammer. A hammer is good to have, either a small 2-pound sledgehammer or just a regular old hammer, in case your brakes do freeze up, or if ice forms around your drum brakes and you know it's a solid block on there. A hammer is good to just knock all that crap out and free your brakes up. Gloves and winter clothes. It's good to have a pair of gloves and winter clothes on you, because, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I hate being cold. So I like to stay nice and warm. So, and remember, a bunch of small layers is better than just a 1 or 2 big layers. So it's good to have, you know, maybe a couple t-shirts and a hoodie and then a coat and like a heavy coat, or however you want to do it. But yeah, that about sums it up. Another good tip is if you're driving and you notice there's ice forming on your windshield or like on your CB antennas or your mirrors, then there's ice forming on the road. You know, if there's ice forming on the outside of your truck, then there's going to be ice on the road. So be very careful when you're doing that. And be cautious of what temperature it is outside. If your truck has a thermometer on it, like, you know, check the temperature every now and then. Make sure it's not below freezing or whatever, because once the temperature hits below freezing, that could be a potential for, you know, black ice or what have you. But I think that's about it as far as my winter driving tips go. Just gotta drive smart and use your head. If you think it's too dangerous, just shut down and, you know, call your manager or whatever you want to call it at your company, and let them know, hey, I'm shutting down because it's too dangerous to drive. And if you're at a good company, they'll be understanding and be like, okay. But anyway, drive safe out there and be water, my friends.